Violent combat, terrifying monsters, and relentless action define this new wave of slasher horror games. Here are some of the most exciting upcoming titles that horror fans should keep on their radar. Let's get started. Resident Evil Veronica brings Claire Redfield to the isolated Rockford Island after her search for Chris Redfield ends with capture by Umbrella forces. Resource-driven survival, intense third-person combat, environmental puzzles, limited supplies, and terrifying bioorganic creatures create constant tension while a reimagined story uncovers deadly conspiracies, family secrets, and the horrors hidden behind another biological disaster.
Oui? Qui est-ce? So, you're the American who called earlier. The sister of the man on the third floor. Ah, welcome to Paris. It's so nice to meet you. Brr, it's freezing. Come in. Come in. We don't want you to catch a cold. I hate to say it, but your brother is, well, quite odd. In we go? Oh là là, mais quelle pagaille! He's made such a mess again. Think, I just cleaned it up a week ago. It's like a boulder rolled through here. Huh? Ah, the delightful biscuit. I'm sure he won't notice if we help ourselves. Oh, I'm so sorry. It must be the maintenance man from this morning. Won't be long. I'll bring some nice coffee to go with the biscuit.
Vellar traps you inside a shifting house where a family's mysterious deaths and unsettling recordings reveal a past that refuses to match reality. First-person exploration, environmental puzzles, collecting hidden clues, fragmented memories, and eerie audio recordings gradually expose the truth, while an ancient entity lurking within the house grows more dangerous with every secret you uncover. The Twilight Project leaves you stranded in a forgotten village where night transforms the surroundings into a nightmare filled with terrifying creatures and twisted realities. Resource-driven survival, third-person combat, environmental puzzles, base defense, and exploration uncover the village's cursed history, while shifting between daylight and a shadow dimension reveals ancient secrets inspired by Southeast Asian folklore. Silent Hill Townfall brings Simon Ordell back to the isolated island town of Street Amelia, where forgotten memories and disturbing events blur the line between reality and nightmare. First-person exploration, tense stealth, strategic combat, narrative-driven puzzles, and the mysterious CRTV uncover hidden truths while player choices shape multiple endings as the town's dark past slowly comes to light.
Simon, are you there? Please say something. Where did you go, Simon?
Something doesn't feel right. Zoe? I'm sorry, Zoe?
What are you doing here?
Shiver begins with a trip to visit your aging father that turns into a desperate fight for survival inside the abandoned Windy Oaks National Park. Point-and-click exploration, environmental puzzles, clue gathering, and eerie locations gradually uncover the park's disturbing past, while every discovery brings you closer to the truth behind its haunting mysteries.
It wants to hide away and cover itself up from the fearful cold. The shivering came more quickly upon me. I was losing my battle with the frost. It was creeping into my body from all sides. A good idea, I thought, to sleep off to death. Freezing was not so bad as people thought. There were worse ways to die. And I was right. There are worse ways to die.
Are experiences like no other.
Clive Barker's Hellraiser revival follows Aiden as he enters the nightmarish labyrinth to rescue his girlfriend after a dangerous bargain with the infamous Pinhead. First-person combat, supernatural powers drawn from the Genesis configuration puzzle box, brutal encounters with Cenobites and cultists, and resource-driven survival push every confrontation to the limit, while dark secrets reveal the terrifying cost of escaping hell.
Pain is forever. What was forbidden is now offered.
Agni Village of Calamity places investigator Agni inside the forbidden village of De Superba after she defies orders to search for her missing partner. Resource-driven survival, environmental puzzles, tense third-person combat, and relentless supernatural threats test every decision, while psychological horror, ritualistic mysteries, and disturbing truths gradually expose the darkness consuming the isolated village.
Inside him.
Okay, back inside, everyone.
Let's go, Myers.
Fueled by his
Halloween. The game drops you into Haddonfield on Halloween night, where Michael Myers stalks the town while desperate survivors fight to stay alive. Asymmetrical multiplayer, stealth, close quarters combat, dynamic NPC interactions, and cooperative objectives create unpredictable encounters, while a standalone story mode reveals the terrifying events of the night he came home from Michael Myers' perspective.
would suffer. No one knew of the evil that was walking among them. Unreasoning, relentless, evil. But sometimes I think the truth was something much more terrible. I wonder if perhaps Michael is able to actually move through shadows.
Curse of the Crimson Stag draws Britt into the abandoned White Root Hotel, where a documentary investigation uncovers mysterious deaths, forgotten secrets, and the legend of a wrathful spirit. Exploration, environmental puzzles, clue gathering, and psychological mystery reveal the hotel's dark past, while the line between supernatural forces and hidden human truths grows increasingly difficult to separate. Drowned Lake brings three strangers to a cursed lake while searching for a missing documentarian whose investigation uncovered something terrifying beneath the water. Fishing with unpredictable consequences, exploration, survival, recovered recordings, and investigations across abandoned locations gradually reveal the lake's dark history, while Brazilian folklore and hidden personal secrets deepen the nightmare with every discovery. Alien. Isolation 2 begins after a survey team uncovers a mysterious crashed vessel on a remote colony, unleashing a relentless nightmare that threatens everyone nearby. Resource-driven survival, stealth, tense exploration, limited supplies, and constant pursuit by a deadly alien create relentless suspense, while every discovery reveals the horrifying consequences hidden within the abandoned spacecraft.
こんな失態を見逃す会社ではないの。これは最後のチャンス。Do you understand?
Yes. I understand.
Saw Genesis takes you into a deadly trial set, a century before Jigsaw, where 3 accused struggle to escape while a ruthless judge controls every trap from the shadows. Asymmetrical 3v1 multiplayer, procedurally generated labyrinths, teamwork, brutal rehabilitation traps, and permanent injuries force difficult decisions, while every match tests how much each survivor is willing to sacrifice for freedom.
It's that people tell themselves. Only then do they get to see what really makes them tick. A sacrifice must always be paid in blood. Live or die. Your book, bound in blood, inspires those who are worthy.
There's a wounded man! Nasty injuries! It's like a beast tore him apart!
A beast? Out here? Are you drunk or something? Do him up and show him out.
Ill traps you inside a massive research fort overrun by a mysterious force that twists living creatures into horrifying aberrations. First-person survival, realistic weapon handling, brutal dismemberment, environmental physics, and strategic resource management make every encounter unpredictable, while disturbing experiments and a growing evil reveal the terrifying truth hidden within the isolated facility.
Die, bastard. And you're tough. Surprisingly lively for someone who just came out of a coma.
If you want to survive, you gotta hustle. You fell from the moon.
I will help you, but you must not go there.
I'll take my chances. Turns out I'm a lucky man.
You'll find nothing there but death.
Ritual Tides leaves you stranded on the isolated island of Hortus with no memory of your past and no clear path to escape. First-person exploration, scarce resources, environmental challenges, tense combat, and investigations into a fanatical cult uncover the island's disturbing history, while Lovecraftian horrors and forgotten memories slowly reveal the truth behind your arrival. OD explores the limits of fear through a psychological horror experience where reality interactive storytelling, and cinematic presentation blur together in unsettling ways. Disturbing encounters, surreal environments, experimental gameplay, and an evolving narrative gradually challenge your perception, while mysterious events and hidden psychological themes push every moment toward an increasingly terrifying unknown.
Shima Island, haunted by dark stories. Our goal, confront the evil.
Until Dawn 2 brings a crew of ghost hunters to an abandoned tropical island where a staged investigation turns into a desperate fight against ancient supernatural horrors. Branching choices, the returning butterfly effect system, exploration, tense survival, and life or death decisions shape every relationship, while every action can determine who escapes the island and who becomes its next victim.
Over! They're rotating on that one!
A for effort, dude.
Who's the buff idiot?
Does no one know this guy?
This is how villains are made.
Oh, you two haven't met yet, right?
Sebastian, I'll be looking out for you.
Roland, whenever you're ready.
This facility has been shut down for decades. Uninvestigated, untold, until now.
This is how villains are made.
Did you hear that?
Nate, are you out there? We gotta go. Right!
I have a bad feeling.
Let's get rid of it.
Grip it tight.
Go! He's coming! Through there!
Take a deep breath.
Fuck! Which way?
Steady the mind.
We're gonna have to jump!
There's rocks down there!
I tried many ways.
Cronos Lazarus places you in control of the Warden as he fights to protect a forgotten essence while hiding from a relentless hunter sent by the Collective. Fast-paced combat, enhanced traversal abilities, powerful technology, cinematic boss encounters, and strategic use of decoys and invisibility drive every battle, while hidden memories gradually reveal the Warden's past and the true purpose of the Lazarus Protocol.
It began to haunt me.
Your presence here is the most precious.
Remothered Red Nun's legacy follows Susan as a desperate search for her missing daughter, leads her to an abandoned Sicilian estate tied to the terrifying legend of the Red Nun. Stealth, environmental puzzles, hypnotic abilities, retrocognition, mirror manipulation, and relentless stalkers create constant tension, while buried family secrets and forgotten rituals gradually uncover the truth behind the haunting mystery.
Don't worry, dear. I'll put you right in no time.
I will not die, rotting in hatred.
The Skin Stapler puts detectives Dick Slater and Robbie Knox on the trail of a brutal serial killer terrorizing the decaying streets of Carrion City. Investigation, exploration, multiple playable perspectives, disturbing crime scenes, and psychological horror uncover a twisted conspiracy, while dark humor and relentless tension reveal the horrifying truth behind the infamous Skin Stapler.
Another night of rot simmering under busted streetlights and dark alleyways.
Please. What a silly dream.
That weirdo clogged the shitter. What does that sound?
I Am Ripper places you in the role of a forensic investigator hunting a notorious serial killer in a struggling British dock town during the late 1980s. Examining crime scenes, gathering forensic evidence, making difficult choices, and following multiple investigative paths shape the outcome of the case, while hidden secrets and shifting perspectives gradually expose the truth behind the murders.
Series of murders that have happened in the world of I Am Ripper. We set I Am Ripper in the 1980s. We already have some other games that are set around that time. We like to keep our games in kind of like a universe or white paperverse, in a way related to each other. So with Ether 1, The Occupation, and even Day of View, it's not like a sequel or connected to anything. But as part of the paperverse, I think is that sort of like direct connection. The thing that we like to do in our games is your actions have consequences and that they kind of matter for the world. And we don't always present those options to you as in like an A or B. We'll have big moments where decisions matter and you'll understand what the outcomes of those might be. But we also kind of constantly track what the player's doing and try to figure out what decisions and things you're doing and how they affect things. And ideally that means that by the time you play the game and you talk to someone that has played the game and done something else, subvertly we've kind of changed a bunch of stuff that means now that your experience is significantly different to someone else's. One of the sort of core pillars of the games that we make is play how you want. We don't really expect you to have a certain skill level or necessarily expect you to want to play the game a certain way. We kind of want to let you figure out and play the game the way you would play it. In Ether 1, you could, for example, choose to do the puzzles or just completely ignore them. In The Occupation, you could choose to just sit outside of your meeting point. Essentially, you'd get completely different results depending on what you did. And it's the same this time around with I Am Ripper. It's a lot of variety in terms of the choices that you can make because it's all about the sort of granular decisions that you make as you just play moment to moment. So there's not a direct tie-in with Jack the Ripper. We're kind of creating our own Ripper in the universe. In the UK, at the very least, generally when there's a serial killer, a lot of the times they get labeled a Ripper. So we have Jack the Ripper as a very obvious example, but we also have the Yorkshire Ripper and various others. So we're trying to kind of bring our own into the mix. So we chose Unreal Engine 5. We've been essentially developing games with Unreal Engine since our first title. So from Ether 1 to The Occupation to Data View, and now I Am Ripper, we're sticking to the engine because it's always been an amazing tool for us to work with, and it's always given us a tremendous amount of breadth of creativity and tools that we can use to create the concepts that we want to make. We don't really even consider any other engines because, one, we're just extremely comfortable with technology and all the support that Epic gives us all the time, but also just because it's very clearly the leading engine in terms of just the sheer amount of stuff that you can do and the business model and revenue sharing. For us, it's just not even a question. It's Unreal Engine. We're kind of trying to build a lot on some of the foundation that we set with our previous games. Tactility, play the way you want, that kind of thing is really important to us. For example, really love the sort of granularity and nuance in motion that we can get with stuff like motion matching, as well as, for example, control rig to like dynamically adjust animations on runtime based on the environmental context that we have. So we just love to use all of those tools to actually bring the characters to life and make them feel like they're actually in the world and they're reacting to the world around them, and not so much as like a puppet that you're controlling. We love literally almost every tool set of the engine, and we try to use and get up to speed with every single one of them as they come out. The material editor is incredible, and all the stuff that we can do right now with Nanite and Lumin, some of the solutions that we're able to come up with to handle stylization through lighting, for example, where we'll use lights that they only affect the fog and allow us to paint a certain sort of image with the fog and the environment in which we're in. This game's going to be like a huge step up in a lot of areas for us. Just the level of quality that we can get out of the box with Lumin, the beautiful amount of just real-time shadows that we can have, not causing that much of a performance hitch. We just love to be able to tinker with all the tools, like Sequencer, for example, how we're able to play around with cameras. So in the game, we actually transition from like third person to first person to completely different camera viewpoints, and we can seamlessly blend all of that. And again, it's just basically all out of the box. We don't really have to work too hard to get that stuff working and feeling super cinematic and super nice. So in terms of the tactility of interactions that we have, we're basically ensuring that any time that you interact with an object that is important and needs to be interacted with, it's an experience that feels tactile and slow and methodical. For example, in the trailer we had a section where you have to investigate a body and you have to cut the sort of sewn lips of the victim and pull a cassette out. We're using essentially all of the tools that Unreal affords us to do that, so Sequence has been extremely helpful with that. We have a really system animation blueprint, so we can drive values that slowly adjust how things move depending on how the player interacts with it. And then as well as like we leverage MetaHuman, we're also able to use MetaHuman Animator, and we just leverage absolutely everything we can. We design and drive our games based on the constraints and limitations that the engine gives us, and slowly those barriers are just kind of falling all the time. I feel like even when we were working on Ether 1, like we were 5 guys working on a game, and I think considering the size of the team, the work that we produced, like Unreal Engine was instrumental in making sure that we could do that. And it's not been any different as we've grown. So now we're a team of about 15. We're producing a level of visuals, a level of immersion and storytelling that we just don't feel like we could be able to do in any other engine. Because for us, out of the box, Unreal Engine gives us so much that we can just build on and tweak. The tools have always been there to be able to do like big and mighty things. We've been living with the engine for so long now that it feels like home. And as things grow and expand and change, like we're going right with it. If you're interested in learning more about I Am Ripper, you can catch us at all our socials at White Paper Games. So we have White Paper Games on Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok. And if you want to learn more specifically
Star Trek Shadow Frontier follows former Lieutenant Ro Laren after a crash leaves her stranded on a distant planet controlled by a mysterious consciousness. Third-person exploration, strategic combat, environmental puzzles, tricorder investigations, and phaser-based tools help overcome hostile creatures and deadly hazards, while distorted memories and psychological threats gradually reveal the truth behind the planet and Ro's past.
I can feel myself slipping. I think it might be too late. There is no coming back from this. This time, you have to let me go. Ro Laren.
That is not going to happen.
Choose someone. An officer. She must follow my instructions. She will be my voice.
When Sirens Fall Silent places policewoman Mila at the center of a high-profile investigation involving kidnappings and murders in 1990s Italy. Crime scene investigations, clue gathering, environmental puzzles, detailed interrogations, and psychological storytelling gradually expose a web of violence and deception, while Mila's troubled past threatens to blur the line between truth and perception.
Of course. I'm such an idiot. You mean police sirens? Yes, of course. I was thinking of those creatures with fish fins.
That's because you live in a fantasy world. You live in a fantasy world. You live in a fantasy world.
You live in a fantasy world. You live in a fantasy world.